Yeah, I'm not gonna get tired. Ooh. Shit. Yeah. Now. For those of you who know, this is the Yakuza game that I first played all the way back on the PS2 and thought the game was brilliant at the time. Then for some reason I completely forgot about the series until I played Zero. So does this remake of the original Yakuza game do it justice? In short, the answer is yes. Yay! It's a 3D over-the-top beat-em-up brawler where you can use the environments around you as a weapon if you choose to, like use a bike on your enemy. You play as Kazuma Kiryu, the dragon of the Dojima family. I think that the story is quite good and holds up well where it evolves around betrayal, action and people who just want to fight Kiryu. Yakuza's campaign does take a bit of time to get going, where it starts in the year 95 when Kira takes a call from Niski, who's like a brother to him, where he wouldn't survive in prison after killing one of the bosses of the Yakuza's family. So yeah, he would have been in really deep shit. And also Niski's sister may not have long left to live, that's another reason why he does it. So Kiryu takes a fall, then gets released 10 years later on parole, so the game skips to 2005 where he's trying to figure out what's happened to Niski and his sort of girlfriend at the time, Yumi. Then things start going awry. When 10 billion yen was stolen from the Yakuza, and Yumi might know something about it, so it's up to you to track it down and catch up on what's happened over the past 10 years. For the controls, I felt right at home. After playing Yakuza 0, you can still switch fighting styles in a drop of a hat. From Brawler to Beast to Rush, each one of the fighting styles are unique to each other. Rush is like the fast attacking one, while Beast is the heavy hitter and Brawler is the in-between one. Then you got the dragon fighting style, what seemed to be the best one for me. Once when I powered it up, and you got the heat meter where you can still charge up by fighting and pull off special moves, and I still love the over-the-top special moves. You go from being overpowered at the start of the game, then when you get released out of prison, your fighting skills are a bit rusty and you have to rebuild your skill up again. I found the inventory system easy to navigate and know what I was getting, and the way that it was laid out was very user friendly. There's these skill points what you can earn by fighting or doing side activities with this green bar at the top of the left hand corner indicating how many points you got to put into a skill tree of your choice to get a perk and improve. Except for the dragon skill tree, they are earned by fighting Majima multiple times. And Majima keeps on showing up from time to test the player and just to fight you. Yet Majima does do it in creative ways. One minute he's a cop, then the next he's a pole dancer or being a bartender. I liked the way that it kept on surprising me by what he kept on coming out with. I just wanted to see what was the next crazy thing that he would do. Yeah, I've been hiding in there for 3 days, but it was worth it. The main missions I thought was nicely done, but that's after when you're done sneaking into the funeral, then the game just start picking up after that, where you're fighting your way out, and that's when the game did really start to draw me in. And the boss fights, I like the way that it made me change fighting styles in a fight to find out which one works best on them. And the boss fights do have a recharge move where they gain a limited amount of health, yet you can keep on hitting them while they do this, and they've got a heat gauge of their own to make the fights more interesting. However, the side missions do seem a bit basic for today's standards, where the game hasn't evolved quite yet to have that charm that the other games have. Although if you're going into this knowing that this is a recreation of the old game, you know what to expect. The side activities are in this, yet if you're coming off a zero, the side activities do feel inferior. Where this is a remake of the first game with some new additions thrown into the mix, like singing here, yet I found the songs a lot better in Zero. And you still have the claw capture game, and the rock paper scissors game makes a comeback, except here they're in bug costumes. Yeah, I still prefer this version of rock, paper, scissors. The game is set in chapters, and CP points are also in this, and challenges to earn the CP points, like defeating so many enemies in a certain fighting style, and going to a restaurant and eat 10 times and so on, and then trading the CP points to get a perk with this clown, what I thought was alright. It's just a little something on top of the cake. Unless you've got a fear of clowns, then you're kind of fucked. Yakuza Kiwami is set in a small sandbox city what takes place in Kamurocho. Hopefully I said that right. Well, this city has a lot of content in it what can hold the player over for hours, like bowling and collectibles, and yes, there is invisible walls what keep you in the city. The graphics have been given a huge upgrade, and overall since the original, where this uses the Yakuza 0 engine, there are still some low textures that look like it's out of the PS2 title though. But on the main characters it still looks really good, just don't go examining walls like I did and you'll be fine. Really need a magnifying glass. The cutscenes are recreation of the old Yakuza game, just been updated to Zero's engine with some new ones to fill in the gaps. What wasn't there in the original, and some callback scenes from Zero, and I did like the fact that they kept true to the old game and put in the new scenes as well. You could do a side-by-side comparisons in the scenes, and they do look familiar with the same camera angles. I could tell that they studied the old game really well, and I think that they did pull it off. And there is one cutscene what I remember back in the day was this cutscene when Kiryu was defending the dog. And that left a significant impression on me after all this time, and I can still remember it all the way back on the PS2. So seeing it in full HD here and reworked and higher textures, it's just like, yeah. I've got to say again, be prepared to read a lot where this game is in another language. Unless you speak Japanese, in that case I'm kind of jealous of you fucking get. As for characters, they still will get their awesome intros and well acted, and I love Goro Mojima, or is it Majima? Still remains my favourite character with his wild personality. Then we got Haruka, Yumi's daughter, who's trying to find her mother where she's an orphan, although the person who Haruka is looking for is the same person you're looking for, is Yumi. And I've got to say that this child does put up with a lot throughout the campaign and still has a sense of humour, like asking why a certain house is called that and seeing the face on Kiryu. It's just priceless.
現役のタレントやらモデルやらが働いているんだ。選ばれた人間の遊び場さ。
おじさん、ソープって何？
まあ、風呂屋だ。いや、サウナか。俺に振るな。
銭湯ってこと？
いや、それとも少し違って、
おじさんは行ったことあるの？
まあ、いや、
嘘。私どんなとこか知ってるよ。何日も歩いてたんだから。
こりゃ一本取られたな。
There are some impressive soundtracks what still get you pumped in a mood for a fight, yet here there wasn't any what got stuck in my head. For how long the game is, I clocked on around about 25 hours, so I thought it was a decent length, and I could have spent more time in this world easily with its side activities. So in the end, I think that it was a nice remake of the original game, and I like how it stayed true as possible to it. And I like that the story had me in hysterics at some points with some funny moments and outlandish things that I could not stop laughing at. Then the next minute, the game almost had me in tears by how emotional it can be. So have you played Yakuza Kiwami? What do you think of it? Leave it in the comments below. Until next game, I'm fucking off. Yakuza Kiwami is a remake of the original PS2 Yakuza game. Then you got the Dragon Fighting style, what seems to be the best one. Then you got the Dragon Fighting style, what seems to be the best one for me. When... Yeah, I'm not gonna get tired. Ooh.